Today's episode, I'm going to show you how you can grow potatoes from seed to harvest in a Greenstalk container. So why grow potatoes in a Greenstalk container versus growing it in a raised bed, as you can see over here? The primary reason why I actually prefer growing potatoes in a Greenstalk container versus growing it in a raised bed is because it's much easier to harvest the potatoes when you grow it in a container versus growing it in a raised bed. In a raised bed, you have to dig the potatoes up, while in a Greenstalk container or any container, all you have to do is to dump all the soil out onto a tarp and harvest the potatoes just like that. So there are a lot of choices when it comes to growing potatoes. For this season, I decided to try out these two varieties of potatoes. This one here is the Upstate Abundance potato, and this one here is the Dakota Dawn potato. So today, we're gonna plant these in these Greenstalk containers. So the first thing I'm gonna do is actually empty out the green stalks. So you'll notice that there are a lot of different pockets in the green stalk. You have one here and then you have another one here. The idea is that if you put one potato each, you'll get multiple potatoes from each pocket. So what I'm gonna do is actually take out each tier so you can actually lift these up, like what I'm gonna do here, and easily set them on the ground. One of the beauties about growing in a green stalk is that you can grow vertically, and you can grow a lot more because you're growing vertically. So by planting potatoes in these green stalks, I'm able to plant and grow a lot more potatoes in the same amount of space as one big giant container. So the soil I'm using today is actually going to be something that's peat moss based. And the reason you want to be using a peat moss based soil is because, number one, it retains a lot of the moisture and is relatively free draining. And number two, it's acidic. So potatoes like acidic soil. So I'm gonna first dump the contents here somewhere else, and I'm gonna be transferring the soil into the Greenstalk containers. And to do that, I'll have my little garden helper over here help me dig out some of the soil from this into the empty Greenstalk containers. So let's get started. So what I'm gonna do is just open up the soil over here and dump all this out with my garden buddy over here. All right, and then we're just gonna dump the soil in here, just like that. So we're probably just gonna fill up the container about 75% of the way. And during the growing season, I'll come back and put more soilless mixture in here. All right, so what we're gonna do now is plant these in the Greenstalk containers. So I'm gonna first dump this all out. Okay, so my little garden helper is gonna plant these 3 potatoes over there. All right, so we've planted our Upstate Abundance potatoes in here. And what we're gonna do is gonna put this back up on the Greenstalk and then water it in. All right, so this is what our potatoes look like after they've been planted in the Greenstalk. And we'll add fertilizer a little bit later too. The potatoes haven't even sprouted, so if you add fertilizer right now, it's just gonna run off and be a waste of fertilizer. So what we're gonna do is just water this in right now. And you'll see that the water is gonna slowly trickle down and water all the layers of the Greenstalk. Over the next couple of months, I'm gonna show you the growth of the potatoes. So see you in a couple months. All right, so now it's the end of July. It's been a couple months since we put the potatoes in. We put the potatoes in, I think, end of April, and they didn't really sprout till the beginning of May. And these potatoes are about 95 days, 105 days, according to the package, so these should be ready. So let me bring you here and show you why I know the potatoes are ready. So as you can see here, the foliage is dying. And the foliage is dying all over, and they're also leaning over. And also, if you come over here, I can show you on the surface that you can see a potato here actually. That's another way you know that the potatoes are ready. There may be a couple layers where it's a little bit more green than others, but for the most part, I think this is ready to be harvested. All right, so what I'm gonna do is to take these Greenstalk layers and dump it out on the tarp here. And what we're gonna do is actually put the potatoes in this clear bucket here. All right, so now we're gonna start bringing the potatoes over. So I have my little helper here. Okay, so my little helper is gonna help me move the remaining layers over here and then dump it. All right, so my little helper is helping me with the potatoes. Okay, so we've gone through one of the Greenstalk layers, and this is how much we got. So as you remember, we put 6 small potatoes into the Greenstalk, and our yield increased by maybe 5 times. What we're gonna do now is get the potatoes out of all the green stalks, and we'll show you what the remaining yield looks like. All right, so this is all the soil that we've dumped from the green stalks, and this is our final harvest here. So this may not look like a lot, but it's actually pretty heavy. This is a lot. This is 15, probably close to 20 pounds of potatoes. So those are pretty high yields from a green stalk because we were able to grow vertically in about like a square meter worth of space here. So that was our video on growing potatoes from seed to harvest in a green stalk container. And this is something we'd probably do again because, as you can see, the kids have a lot of fun growing potatoes on the Greenstalk. So please feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know what your experience of growing potatoes in Greenstalk was like. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.